Good morning, it's Friday, the 20th of October, and this is Shootin' the Breeze, guys.
I can't.
I figured everybody would have a good laugh with it. I'm your host, I'm one of your hosts, TakersMinion, joined by my co-host, as always, from the land of the rising sun, Mr. Dr. Senju. Good evening to you, sir.
Evening. I just can't.
I think
Something
you broke
new.
Senju.
And we're also joined by our guest today, last moment. He's pulling the Iron Man today, he is. Doncel Lupo Cusmano. How are you this morning, Don?
I'm pretty good. Work. See, the funny thing about work is the first half of it dragged and I was dragging it. Second half went by like that. So, you know.
That's good.
I think
just
the
hope I
period
don't.
before.
I just hope we don't tire you out before your show with William Fitzpatrick, which follows us immediately at approximately 1 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'll be fine.
Yep. Well, hopefully we're all fine this week because we're going to have to do a very quick and very fast schedule for today. Because this week we are going to talk about, well, Taker is going to have too much fun on this one.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about tables, ladders, and chairs, or as Fizz would like to call it, tables, ladders, and Asuka.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Among other things. And as well as just basically the week that is Raw, SmackDown, 205 Live, and NXT.
I didn't catch NXT this week. Please, somebody tell me they did.
No, I'm in an econ class when NXT is on.
I did, so don't worry about that.
Hooray. Mr. Dr. Senju is bailing me out here. Thank God.
The only thing that I did not catch this week is 205 Live, so there is that.
I didn't either,
With
so
all the news.
we can put 205 Live on the back burner because we have way too much to cover. And Doncel, you need to get your thinking cap on.
All right.
Because MDS came up with an idea of now this can cover any era of wrestling you want. It can cover even New Japan if you want.
Okay.
It does not have to be the tables, ladders, and chairs pay-per-view that we have coming up, but it has to be a match that you think tables, ladders, and chairs, the stipulation itself, would work.
Okay.
Well, basically, the suggestion
at the end of the show.
Yeah, basically, I'm just suggesting that for a match of the week that incorporates tables, ladders, and chairs, just think one of the back of the head where you think it is the best incorporation of tables, ladders, and chairs. So there's that. And I'm sorry because I got you for the last minute, so I didn't really buzz you.
Oh no, you're fine. Ooh, this is a good thought though.
Just think about it. Just mull it over.
It's something for the end of the show.
All right.
Yeah.
So it'll be one of the last things
show.
we
So
do.
while we mull it over, while we mull it over, let's break bread quite quickly with tables, ladders, and chairs match, which will come up on the October 22nd of 2017. For me, it's at Minneapolis, Minnesota, of course. We heard that one of our friends is going there, Jake the Milkman, Millerman's Milkman.
Who has made his triumphant return to the nightly. Welcome back, Jake. We missed you dearly.
And
you know who he is, don't you, Sal?
Yeah, I've talked to him a little bit here and there. He's a good guy.
Yeah. So,
and you, both of you know the match card going in by now?
No, I don't know the full match card.
I know we have the Shield versus whoever.
I guess Kane's been added now.
Yes.
So
on what point I don't know, but okay.
I don't understand.
Before we touch on,
I don't understand the reasoning behind that. But let's get to.
Okay.
brass tacks.
Okay, let's get to the match card quickly. I don't know which one will come on which turn because this is just the full list that I have now. But we know that there's going to be 7 matches on the board. One match is going to be on the pre-show. Unfortunately, that would be Sasha Banks versus Alicia Fox. That would
she
be on the
loses
pre-show.
money in this end, but Sasha does.
We're still gonna go on the argument that they're gonna lose money just because they're on the pre-show. And then anyways, on 7 matches, there's one on the pre-show, Sasha Banks versus Alicia Fox. Then we have Alexa Bliss versus Mickie James, a singles matchup for the WWE Raw Women's Championship. Then of course we have the Shield versus Braun Strowman, The Miz, Kane, Cesaro, and Sheamus. A 5-on-3 handicap.
Something wrong.
It's a 5-on-3 handicap tables, ladders, and chairs match. Then we have this is gonna be one match that Taker is gonna go gaga over.
Wait.
Emma versus his goddess Asuka. Is my audio working?
No, mine. I can hear it. Oh,
there. Oh. Let me go get my puke bucket.
I'm drooling all over the place on that match now.
Jeez. Yes, okay. I'm letting this old guy have too much fun with the soundboard. His soundboard.
It's mine. Emma. You can't tell me when I can and can't use it, damn it.
I remember when it was our soundboard.
What's that?
Our soundboard.
It's mine.
Their soundboard. Oh, goodness.
You're going to have fun today, Sal, I'm telling you that.
Yep.
Okay, moving quickly along. We have Kalisto versus Enzo Amore, singles matchup for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. Then we have Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann versus the Brian Kendrick and Gentleman Jack Gallagher. It's a tag team match. And finally, we have a lot to talk about this one. The Demon versus Sister Abigail. The Demon versus Sister Abigail.
The pumpkin face demon versus Sister Abigail.
I was just about to say that. The pumpkin versus the drag queen or the drag king.
Oh, the drag queen.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, shit. Last week I brought up Sal. I don't know if you listened last week, but I brought up Ty Dillinger basically dropping to his knees and giving Daniel Bryan a blowjob to get into the U.S. title match. So there is precedence here.
Jesus.
At least this is Raw and that was SmackDown. Oh, great. Oh, God. Okay. Which one will we pick and dissect first?
Let's go with the pre-show match, of course.
All right. Sasha Banks versus Alicia Fox then. Okay. Quick story. This matchup was apparently brought up because at the 5 women matchup to determine who's going to face Asuka, Sasha Banks eliminated Alicia Fox. Alicia Fox considered this as a mistake because she felt that Sasha Banks
she was reaching up to scratch her nose.
Yes. And then they had a rematch just to prove that Sasha Banks was in the wrong and Alicia Fox was in the right. Banks defeated her again, and she has an issue with that and attacked her. And evidently, Alicia Fox also shoved a referee, which got her fined by WWE. This is where and that's just basically the story of why Alicia Fox's match versus Sasha Banks is up, because apparently she's not happy with what happened with her and Sasha Banks. Thoughts? Go.
Go ahead, Sal.
It's a thing that is happening. That's really about all I can say to it. It is a feud that is happening. This is the epitome of a pointless time killer feud. Like, oh, we need something to kill the pre-show match? Yeah, throw these two together, that'll do.
I tend to agree.
This
is a match that, in my opinion, this is a match that is and is really not needed, why do we always have to have a pre-show match?
That's the biggest question that I wanted to ask. Why do we need to have a pre-show match? Why do we need to stick these two people?
Yeah, my best guess is because WWE thinks it helps them get network subscribers, so that's why we continue on with the pre-show match. But yeah,
I mean, most of us only tune to the whole program on its entirety anyway, without even watching the pre-show. Remember last week when you and me discussed about Hell in a Cell, Taker? I asked you, both you and Ambrose Alley, who watched the pre-show, and both of you did not watch it.
Nope.
Yeah.
Both of you did not watch it. I caught it. I watched it for Shelton Benjamin, Chad Gable versus the Hype Bros. And these two teams were talented enough to actually be featured on the match card, on the main card itself for the pay-per-view.
Well,
I just don't understand why. I just don't understand why the function of the pre-show, if it's only just to attract subscribers. In my opinion, if you're invested in the pay-per-view itself, you'd buy into the pay-per-view itself and watch the whole show entirety without even actually watching the pre-show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess to WWE, it's for those people who are on the edge, and it's like, hey, look here, you can see a match that's technically on the card, but really isn't. So if you like this little pre-show match, hey, why not spend $10 and buy the rest of the card? I guess.
Well, they get the
And
pay-per-view this weekend for free anyway. If they
I know, I get that. I mean, I'm just saying this is what WWE is thinking. I'm not saying it's a good idea because I don't think it is. I'm just saying this is likely what they're thinking.
In a sense, WWE.
Yeah.
Is this his symbolizing of quote unquote genius in the air or something like that? I don't know.
That's his geniusing, as Dusty would put it. I'm geniusing.
I'm geniusing. I have no idea, guys, because these two are good enough to be featured on the card itself. Mm-hmm. To me, it's just
with a lot higher stakes matches. Too.
Yep.
Yes, with a lot higher stakes. To me, it's just if you catch the whole thing in its entirety, you lose one match on the card. That means you only catch 6 matches on the card. If you wanted to take TLC, for example, Sasha Banks versus Alicia Fox, you're gonna forget about it, and people wonder, did Sasha Banks and Alicia Fox have a match on that pay-per-view? Yes, they did, but it's on the pre-show, which is unfortunate. And even more so with the fact that we have all these precedents where people are getting unsatisfied with what WWE is going through, what with Neville, and right now apparently with Nia Jax and all that. It's not really a precedence to start off with something like this, because you potentially would either piss off both Sasha Banks, Alicia Fox, or one of them with this one. I mean, I'm not gonna touch on those hot topic buttons where royalty or pay is being considered, especially on a pay-per-view like this. It's just that there's a lot of questions coming in, and I agree. This is a decision that's not really gaining traction or getting any positive press, if you want to say that. So there's that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so quick thoughts then. Who will win on this matchup? Even though we will say that it's a match that happened.
Sasha.
Sal.
I'm leaning Sasha. I don't know. No real reason for it either. I'm just thinking. I kind of figure they're going to give Sasha a quick little easy pay-per-view win. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Before we segue into her potential feud with Bayley, or before or after the whole 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen thing.
Yeah.
Who knows? Taker?
I just came back. I just got back.
Okay. So who's going to win on this one? Sasha Banks or Alicia Fox?
Of course Sasha Banks is going to win. I mean, why would they weaken her now? Give me one good reason why they would have her job to someone who's been a jobber for several years to women in the women's division.
Potentially set her up with Bayley.
I still say Bayley's going to turn heel on her.
I know. Probably this is a time where she did.
It feels like they'd be wasting a heel turn on such a nothing pay-per-view.
Really? I mean, if you think about it, this pay-per-view, it's a Raw pay-per-view, and the main show itself only has 6 matches.
Okay.
They're going to have the show's going to be done in less than 2.5 hours. There's going to be more advertising than there's going to be actually in ring time. I can't wait to see what Kane tonight comes up with.
I just realized something. I don't think Bailey turns on her here. I think she turns on her in the Horsewoman versus Horsewoman match.
I think so. There's a couple of potential options where she could flip heel.
Either that or whoever's turning heel. If they're turning heel at Survivor Series. If they really do go through with that Horsewoman thing. So,
I do agree, because I think the setup is hopefully the setup, considering that they already signed Shayna Baszler for the whole thing.
Right.
The setup would be on Survivor Series rather than WrestleMania. Of course, WrestleMania is the big silver plate where you wanted to do something big as 4 Horsewomen versus 4 Horsewomen. But on a quicker note, if you wanted to have a quick, fast buck anyways, just to elevate the Survivor Series, you could do that in Survivor Series.
Yeah. Okay, before we go any further, there's an 800-pound gorilla in the room that needs to be taken care of.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear that giggle. On the show on Fizzy's Wacky World of Wrestling prior to Hell in a Cell, Don Sal and I made a friendly wager.
Okay.
Here's the deal. It went with the Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon Hell in a Cell match.
Okay.
And I made a statement that I believed Shane was going over. He was and Sal, you were dead set against me and told me that Kevin was going over, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
And we went back and forth for like 5 minutes. And finally I said, friendly wager. Fizz tried to cut us off.
Yeah.
And I said,
of course he did.
No. It's friendly. We're not going to be mad at each other. And I said, if Kevin won, I would say something positive about The Miz.
And if Shane won, I would say I think The Miz is garbage.
Right.
Okay.
Well, Shane lost. So, Sal.
Yes, Taker.
This is your time to make me feel like a shithead.
Oh, come on. I can't really be too happy with the win because it took Sami Zayn to help it happen.
But the thing about it is we did not put any stipulations on it, so therefore I lost, regardless of Shane that Benedict Arnold, goddamn Sami Zayn.
Why Benedict Arnold, though?
Because he's a great big traitor.
The one time I didn't need Sammy to do something, he does. The rotten bastard. Anyway, here goes. I usually. You don't know how hard this is for me.
I'm already holding the puke bucket.
Oh, excuse me. I love The Miz.
Okay.
Yes.
The one and only time you'll ever hear that come out of my goddamn mouth.
Here's the puke bucket.
I still think Miz. Oh.
Everyone needs to retweet this to their followers now. Everyone who's watching this, go back, find that clip, make sure everyone far and wide hears it.
You're welcome, Sal.
Thank you, Taker. You are a man of your word. And come on, that wasn't so hard, was it?
Yes, it was. You know how I feel about The Miz. He still sucks, in my opinion.
Yes,
but
I do.
I only had to say it once. It's over. It's done. Now I can call, fuck The Miz. He's still a piece of shit.
5 minutes ago, he said that something else, and then suddenly he flips the script, and it just goes 180. Great form.
I'm going to say this to you, Sal. I love you like a brother, man.
Oh, I appreciate that. I just feel the same about you.
Oh, so sweet.
Oh, don't sell yourself short, Mr. Dr. Senju. I always enjoy our chats together.
Where we crack heads.
Yeah, well, when we crack heads, talk about anime, this and that and the other thing.
Well, at least we don't have any kendo sticks around here, because I'd be beating you head to foot with one. But the thing about it is, though, you probably like it.
Guys, let's move on.
I don't know what kind of impression I've been giving that I'm a masochist, but
I don't know. Probably because when the last time we suggested that we'd send samurai shippers, you get no, not them.
Well, I had to worry about Jason Voorhees showing up at my door last week.
Jesus.
Oh, okay. So there's that. Okay, never mind. Anyway, quickly moving on. Considering that we're cutting corners and going on segues. All too often.
Is that anything unusual?
Okay, let's touch
Sal here? Is that anything unusual when Sal's here?
No. Anyway, okay. Let's move on to one of the first of the Cruiserweights divisions matches. Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann versus the Brian Kendrick and Gentleman Jack Gallagher for a tag team match with no stipulations involved or no. There's little kind of stakes involved in this one.
What is the issue?
Okay, the narrative here is that remember that that Jack Gallagher turned on Cedric Alexander during their matchup, a triple threat between Brian Kendrick, Gallagher, and Alexander 3 weeks prior, I think, or was it a month back? On that note, this is the follow-up to the whole thing, considering the fact that for the last 3 weeks, we've been serenaded with the man they call Enzo Amore, the muscles marinara of the company.
No, please.
Because when he was slotted in, every single storyline was kind of like taking a back seat, and then this happens. So this is like the resurfacing of the story that they kept on hold for a moment. So basically, these two are just feuding with each other. It's just about to start. There's that. Brian Kendrick and Jack Gallagher are the heels. Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann are the faces, basically. Like I said, in my personal opinion, this has no stakes because it's just about to start.
Yeah, pretty much.
I do think that this is also, a match that will happen. It's gonna be. I predict that it's gonna be like a typical cruiserweight match where there's high spots. There's a lot of fast-paced offense because we both know that Alexander and Swann can do that. They're athletic. They're very agile. Brian Kendrick and Jack Gallagher, however, remember that Jack Gallagher is very knowledgeable in catch wrestling as well as his offense in the cruiserweights. And Brian Kendrick is a veteran and knows how to basically put the hurt on you. So there's that.
Who is rumored to be training Ronda Rousey at the moment.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Oh, that's been out for a while.
I didn't know that. To be honest, I didn't know that. So it's surprising to me. Yeah. Okay. But okay, small segue. With that rumor being said, would you consider WWE with the rumor that they're also trying to pull Rousey's husband into WWE as well?
Why not? He's not. He's not in good graces with Dana White right now. Is he, Sal?
No, I guess. I don't really know. I didn't even know she had a husband.
Yeah, she's married to a known spouse abuser.
Oh.
Ouch.
But he also has tested positive several times for PEDs.
Oh.
Ow.
Oh, well, like that bothers WWE. They're fucking universal champions on drugs.
We know that.
Yeah.
We know that.
Gender's
He
likely
came
on
back positive after his last UFC fight. But that, we digress.
True. And Gender is also kind of like...
likely on drugs. I mean, yeah.
Allegedly.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Nothing
Not
proven.
gonna
He
say.
says he's passed every test, so who knows?
Yeah. Who knows? So, okay. Anyway,
But
like I said,
did you read the, just a small segue here. Did you read the article that was posted this past week on Wrestling News? That there are several wrestlers that have exceptions that are getting hormone
Oh, yes,
treatments?
I did see that. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes. I can't remember who it was, but they said it was like the Triple H all hail clause that allows Triple H to take drugs.
Oh God. I mean, people. I think from the narrative, I think that his nutritionist is saying things and then backtracking what he said about people about some people on some wrestlers are on the list for that. Oh.
Yeah, but it's all medically based, so they have medical reasons, and therefore they have medical waivers so they can take this kind of stuff. Come on, please.
Yeah.
What is a medical
I think
reason?
To me, medical.
And I have been a big gender supporter, but my support is wearing thin now. For him,
I mean, here's the thing. To me, medical reason basically means that you're actually taking drugs, but now in legalized quotations, in a legalized manner, where you now have the slip to say, okay, you are medically cleared to take drugs. That's it. I mean, I'm not the one to harp on people taking drugs or people not taking drugs. You do what you do with your body. And you take consequences with what you do to your body, of course, because that's how supplements work. You take it in, you have a positive reaction, but then again, if it's proven, you might have little negative reaction, but if it's unproven or even untested, you might have negative reactions.
Yeah.
That's the scientific fact of it. So there's that. Anyway, quickly going forward, I think on this one, it is both. I hope both of you watch 205 Live or actually just catch a few bits and pieces of 205 Live. To me, I think the heels would go over the faces on this one. Just to move along with the whole story in point, just because I really hope that we need another new storyline rather than just Enzo Amore trashing the whole CW division. Flat out. Hands out. So there's that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sal.
Yeah, I haven't really been watching 205 Live lately, so I've missed pretty much most of the story. I've seen the bits and pieces of it. It'll be there. I think it'll be a pretty fun match, and I think the heels go over.
I agree. Heels go over this time.
Okay.
Cedric and Rich are going to have. It's going to probably be some kind of dusty finish where the referee's distracted and one thing or another happens, and who knows?
Yeah. I mean,
it's just going to be. It's going to be one of those matches where you go to the store to get a 6-pack of beer and a package of brats. A package of brats to get ready for the grill.
Yep.
Can I just grab sake for this one?
Yes, you can.
Yes,
as long as you grab me a bottle.
You're allowed to drink as much sake as you wish Sunday night. Because I know it's going to take at least a bottle or two for you to get through this pay-per-view.
It will, I think. Anyway.
Based on the discussions you and I were having this week, yeah. I'm not really invested in this pay-per-view for some odd reason. Because there's nothing really happening.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It isn't really an odd reason. This is a very thrown together card.
Yeah, but then there's also the rumor that there's a viral meningitis going around in the Raw locker room right now.
Oh.
Oh God. Yeah, it took out JoJo Offerman. People saying this that she's sick. Her mom quickly refuted that thing. And then turns out that AJ Styles was missing due to an illness as well. Probably viral meningitis as well.
Of some kind that has nothing to do with that, he said.
Okay. But he's down with the illness, but okay. Anyway. Yes, I agree. This is if we want to wrap quickly.
This is a shit card.
It's a shit card. Ooh, really? It's a shit card. What about Asuka versus Emma then?
Well, that's about the only thing that's worth a damn.
Yeah.
That and the Shield.
Yeah, and even then with Asuka, I guess they've been hyping it up, but it doesn't really feel like they've hyped it up all that much. You know, it's kind of like, oh yeah, and Asuka's coming, that'll be fun, right? You know, not like, oh my God, Asuka's coming, you got to get ready for this. It's kind of like just this other thing that's happening.
They're not even having her cut promos prior to the match saying no one is ready for Asuka.
Yeah,
they're not doing shit.
No.
They only
they're mishandling this whole goddamn debut, my opinion.
Yep.
Okay. Let's take this quickly. Based on the 3 weeks that precede tables, ladders, and chairs. They only did once. They only did the Asuka promo once every single week. That means they only did it 3 times, and that's it. There's no precedence. There's no interview with Emma. There's no Emma promo about her matchup with Asuka. Basically, it feels like these two are meshed together just so that Asuka has an opponent to squish.
It's almost as bad as what they did with Loki on NXT.
Yeah.
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, here's Loki. He's going to debut. Oh no, he's going to get his ass destroyed by somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, I'm
the
not.
Dream, the Velveteen Dream. Yeah, please.
I mean, I'm not ragging this matchup for what it is because, of course, it's Asuka. Who's not hyped up for Asuka. I mean, my partner right here, he's hyped up for her.
Yep. I love her. I absolutely love her. I'm her number 1 mark. You know that.
Yep.
I mean, of course, with her appearing, you'd scream out on your couch and then just go, "Yay, Asuka is on Raw." But the precedence for Asuka versus Emma doesn't really, like both of you said, the precedence of this matchup doesn't feel like a big match feel to me.
No.
Yep.
If I got that correctly.
I mean, when she
should have been
when she debuted in NXT, they made a bigger deal about it than they are in the WWE, for Christ's sake.
Yep.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah,
This is how.
Look at the build.
What's
Wait
different?
Let's break it down to brass tacks here.
Okay.
Look at the build we had for Shinsuke
Mm-hmm.
coming to the main roster on SmackDown. It was done beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
This build to Asuka coming is like, oh, here's a new woman. Her name is Asuka. She's had 185 straight wins. She's 523 days as the NXT Women's Champion. Ho hum. Let's give her Emma first.
Yeah.
That's basically what I'm feeling here.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, when they gave Shinsuke Dolph to start, I was a little about it. But
Okay.
they at least didn't ruin Shinsuke out of the gate. They just recently
they ruined him with him losing to the racists twice.
Yes, they finally ruined Shinsuke. It just took them a little bit of time.
Yeah.
And I'm still.
I mean, like I said,
that.
I know. I mean, here's the thing, Taker. I reminded you about this. I have a little bit of awareness about Asuka debuting on Raw, or even in the main roster, even for that matter. Last week, I already told you about this. Because with what happened with every single person who crossed over from NXT to the main roster.
They've been shit on.
Yep.
I mean, they've been. And the only exception to the rule, for that matter, anyone who crosses over from NXT to the main roster and did successfully. I can't even think of one.
Maybe KO.
That's probably Kevin Owens, but
yeah, and
he's
even
the only one that crossed over who has been successful.
Yeah, and even then he's had a bunch of crap too. So
yeah. But he's had a Universal run, he's had a IC run,
US,
and he's had a US run.
Yeah,
he's had 3 belts already, so he's a Triple Crown winner already.
Yep.
Already, and he's relatively successful, and even he admits that when he was feuding with AJ Styles, he didn't get the best out of AJ Styles. AJ Styles didn't give the best match that he could get, probably because tangents, small intangibles that I can control, age, a lack of pace for that.
I can tell you this much: AJ Styles thinks Kevin Owens ain't worth his time.
Ooh, that's a bold statement. Considering.
Well, the thing about it is AJ Styles hasn't been handled properly either.
True.
No. Ever since he lost the WWE title, he has not been.
Yes.
His
run up to the title. Yeah. His run up to the WWE Championship title was beautiful.
Yes, it was.
The thing afterwards was
shit.
You can say shit.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it's lackluster in a sense.
Yeah.
We hope that we could see that when he held the U.S. title. It's just that then again, he lost that to Corbin.
I mean, he was trying to do something with the U.S. title that needs to be done, and WWE cut his legs out from under him again.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will say I enjoyed seeing Baron Corbin losing to Sin Cara via countout. Why did they even give him the belt if this is what's going to happen?
Okay, let's keep track of Baron
Corbin.
Corbin.
Unless I just thought of this, unless they're setting Bobby Roode up to take him down.
Because
sure.
I agree because here's the thing. AJ Styles is already gyrating back to the WWE champion with Jinder Mahal this week on SmackDown. He already moved on to that one. Probably that sets up a precedence, but let's remember, as much as there's a few people who are fans of Baron Corbin, let's remember this: Baron Corbin has been shit on by John Cena. He got his nuts cut
by Nikki. Got neutered by Nikki Bella.
Mm-hmm. Dave Meltzer took a dump on him as well.
Yep.
He had shown indecisiveness twice now, where he can't really decide whether he wanted to go do the right thing or just do what he feels like he wanted to do, which is hit people. And he always took the decision to hit people rather than be the intelligent one and do stuff like that. And when he got the title,
and then included himself in the WWE concussion lawsuit like an idiot.
Yeah.
Do we know? Do we actually know that he's been concussed or not? No.
No, we don't. No, we don't. He's just there because, in his opinion, he's been there in the NFL and he knows better. He should know better. That's only his precedence on it.
Yeah.
I can only assume that that's his precedence on it. Anyway, considering that we're cutting a lot of tangents right now, Asuka versus Emma, obviously, I think Asuka is gonna win. Like I said, this is a squash match set up with Asuka versus Emma. We already seen this matchup back in NXT when she debuted, and now we're seeing this on the main.
Asuka defended the title against her and made Emma look like a piece of shit. There is really no women on the roster, either in NXT or in WWE, that can even come close to her. Asuka don't have to work hard. They all have to work to meet her. She doesn't have. She's not going to work down to them. She's going to force them to come up to her.
Yep.
It could set up that kind of precedence where everyone else would work harder just to face up against Asuka. That could be one positive.
Yeah, it could. I mean, I think it'll be a pretty good match because Emma's a pretty good worker and Asuka is Asuka, so.
I agree on that one. Well, anyway, it's just sad. I mean,
it really should be a bigger deal than it is.
It's not been made a big deal, and that's what I'm upset about.
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch this. Definitely, I'll watch it just to see what happens. Even though I could have a feeling that the outcome is kind of like set in stone already. This is a squash match for Asuka.
Mm-hmm.
There's a hidden subtlety that I missed. It is going to be what it is. It's just that the hype for it isn't really hyped up.
Well, even when Shinsuke came to the main roster and they put him in that feud with Dolph, okay? Dolph was saying he's a rookie on the main roster. He was talking all kinds of shit about him. We haven't heard Emma say anything other than, I started the women's revolution. Me.
If you don't put me in the, I know. If you don't put me in a match, I'll go and date your illegitimate son. Remember that one, Sal?
I do now. Thank you for that.
Don't remind me, please. I'm gonna need a puke bucket if you keep doing that shit.
Date your son. I'll date your son. Wow.
You need one too, Sal?
No, I'm still trying to figure out how that was a good insult. You're pretty much burying yourself.
Shit. Oh, I'll just take your son.
Yeah.
That kind of died a quick death. Thank God. Thank God.
Just like Jason Jordan's push.
Mhm.
Oh,
Which
well,
brings
okay.
me to another thing real quick.
Okay.
What the hell is Booker T? 1 minute he's singing praises of Jason Jordan, then he's bringing up, well, his father is a general manager. Make up your mind. Are you heel or face, goddammit, Booker?
I don't think anyone knows anymore.
And then you got Corey Graves coming down on the side of faces against everything's screwed up right now.
Yeah. I kind of feel like with Corey, though, like he's always had this where he's sometimes on a face's side, sometimes on a heel side. He hates annoying
But he's
heels.
mostly okay. Yes, sure. He has a thing with annoying heels, but he doesn't really go and support. Doesn't really go and directly support the faces, because remember that even in some of the matches he'll
Wait a
go, "Oh,
minute.
that's too far."
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Okay.
When Corey Graves was in NXT, he was one of Elias Sampson's, aka Elias now, biggest supporters.
What happened
Yeah.
with that?
I
And
don't know.
now
Yeah.
he's trying to chop the legs out from under the guy.
Yeah.
Mm.
I
Well,
wonder
we
what
all
he's
have-
trying to.
We all have seen it. Don't tell me you haven't seen it because I'll call you a goddamn liar.
I do. I remember that.
Yeah.
Even especially when he was first introduced in the.
And he was burying him, trying to bury him.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, because I think the commentators. Just another small segue. Then we're doing a lot of tangents by now this week. The commentators actually have a focus on the commentating on anything. They're just saying what they want to say. There's no alignment on whether you're a play-by-play commentator, you're a color commentator, you're a heel commentator, you're a face commentator. There's no such thing as that.
Yeah.
When you're supposed to give context to what the wrestlers are doing in ring, or when the wrestlers are cutting promos or doing some actions outside of the ring, you should be putting context. You should be putting a narrative behind it. Right now, all I'm seeing is nothing. It's just talk. There. There's no alignments on face. There's no alignments on heels. Back then, and Taker, you should know better. You should know this one part better. You know who's the face commentator. You know who's the heel commentator. You know who, and in that sense, you actually know better who to cheer on and who to boo for against. So there's that. So anyway, considering that, I'm just gonna go cut off every single thing again, and let's see. Move on to, well, from Goddess, we'll move on to a lot of supernatural shit. You have the Demon versus Sister Abigail. They're actually billing this as the Demon versus Sister Abigail. So,
God help me. I hate this match.
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, okay, this is the matchup between Pumpkin. This is the matchup between King Pumpkin versus a guy in drag.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I can't really explain, because it supposedly has to end. The story now has to end, but the feud is going on and on and on and dragging on forever.
Yeah.
It suffers from on. We all need to start a group here, a support group. You know what it's going to be called? On and on and on.
Jeez.
The on and on and on and on.
There's Al-Anon and there's Narcanon and all this. Well, we're going to call this on and on and on.
Oh my god!
Yeah. I'm thinking of starting another support group, though. It'll be a support group for getting Bray Wyatt off of my television forever and ever.
Ever.
Tell us how you really feel, Sal. About
you
Bray.
know, like how you like those people at the circus, like the human cannonballs. I want to load Bray into one of those giant cannons they shoot him from, and just shoot him far, far, far away, and so he never comes back.
So he needs to be put into a galaxy long, long ago and far, far away.
Yes. Because good Lord, is everything they keep giving him shit.
I mean, I don't know whether I should be sympathizing with him with what he's having to right now, or just he is getting the shittiest thing happening to him right now. Because let's face it, he's facing Finn Balor for what, the third time now in the pay-per-view?
I think
Or
so.
they faced him on SummerSlam.
Why?
He faced him on SummerSlam, number one. He faced him at Great Balls of Fire.
No, Hell in a Cell.
No,
Hell in a Cell, okay.
no, wasn't it?
And then now he faces. No, he hasn't faced him in a Hell in a Cell. No, Great Balls of Fire.
No, it was SummerSlam, Great Balls.
No, it was
This is
No
the third
Mercy
time.
they
This is
faced
the third
each other. No Mercy.
Ah, okay. No Mercy
Okay.
is the third one. Okay. This is the third time. And
Yeah.
okay, No Mercy was way back when August, I think.
I think it was
If memory
very early
serves me correct.
September.
Fuck, I don't even
Very
remember.
early September. Okay. Very early September. And now it's in the middle of October and they faced each other 3 times. The narrative has been flipped.
Mhm.
Where, to be honest, the story should have been man versus man.
That's where
And
it should have
then,
ended, right there.
And then,
I know.
yeah,
It should have
that's
ended
where it
right
should have
after. We're having a regular match. Seriously, that's what they told us with man versus man. I've seen plenty of those matches, and I still hate that stipulation.
Yeah. I mean, now we're having suspend your disbelief versus suspend your disbelief. Part, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what part now. Part
Yeah.
4, part 5.
It's stupid.
We've
I
had
mean,
a lot. Yes,
I mean,
it is.
it is. I mean, we have Bray in drag talking with a stupid little voice filter. Good Lord, that
Mhm.
must be cringy to LGBT advocates and all that. I can only imagine how they feel about this. You have
No shit, huh?
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
And I know a
Yeah.
lot of people in that community, and I've done some,
talking to them and stuff.
talking to them, and they're like, they don't even know how to react to this. They're like,
Yeah.
the fuck is going on in WWE?
Yeah, I know. You have Finn, who, once again, hey, Finn, thank you for the very good history lesson on the Festival of Samhain, which is like Halloween and all that. That was really nice. Really appreciated that.
Actually,
And then we have-
hold it. It's not Salmon. It's not Samhain.
It isn't?
It's pronounced Saman.
Ah, salmon. Okay. I've
Oh,
heard it
it's-
pronounced Samhain.
Yeah, it's Saman.
Salmon.
And
Okay.
if anybody, because I will say this right now, I am Wiccan.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
And for those of you who know, our holidays are based on the seasons.
Yeah.
And Saman is one of our highest holidays.
Okay.
Saman falls near the end of October, which is basically Halloween.
Yep.
Which the Christian community and others have incorporated. And Yule, which is also Christmas,
Yep.
Yule is actually on the 21st of
Ah,
December,
okay.
the longest night of the year.
Yeah.
So
Yep. Yeah.
We learn new things every day.
I know.
But here's the thing where I'll have to mellow both of you down.
Aw.
We are introduced to quite possibly one of the funniest iterations of the Demon King as Pumpkin King.
yeah, the Great Pumpkin.
Yes.
The
It
Great
remind-
Pumpkin King.
Yeah. MDS, I don't know if you've ever played Yu-Gi-Oh, but you know that one card, Pumpkin, the King of Ghosts?
Wait, I know that.
Yes. It reminded me of that.
I'll sit back and listen to you two talk now.
It's crazy. It
Yes.
does look like that now. I remember.
Yes.
And that was like what? I played that for the last decade or so. That was the last time, and it was famous back then. And then now, if I remember it, oh my god, he does look. What was it?
Pumpkin, the King of Ghosts.
Wait. Oh my
Well,
god, he does look like.
at least we're not talking about love affairs and
Yes.
Japanese situation comedies.
Well, if you want to talk about that, We already had that with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn already pairing up.
Yes, they gave me my one true pairing on SmackDown, and I'm so happy with that. Still don't watch SmackDown anymore because I'm sticking to my principles on this. And
Eat shit, Sal. You're a goddamn boy. Interfered in the match that he was going to save his boyfriend.
I know, and I'm so happy.
Because your boy was going to lose, goddammit. But anyway.
Yeah. I know, but we have all this supernatural mumbo jumbo going on Raw. It's bad. Like I'm like whenever I see it, I'm kind of embarrassed to be a wrestling fan. Like, you know, I wonder if people who aren't wrestling fans, if they saw this, what would they think of me if I told them I was a wrestling fan?
In the famous words of the Good Brothers, nerd.
Yes, that.
Number one would be nerd. Number two would be, do you watch this shit where a guy is wearing face paint looking like he's wearing a pumpkin head, all too literally, with afros?
I know. It's so bad.
I mean, sure, I am supposed to suspend my disbelief, but I cannot suspend my disbelief on two characters at the same time. I cannot.
Yeah, like there's suspending your disbelief, and then there's asking you to do too much. You know what I mean? Like
this is asking.
The WWE is at the point of asking us to do too much.
Yeah,
it's starting to a point where they're asking us to do too much anyway. Considering that they are actually billing this as the Demon versus Sister Abigail rather than Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt, Part 4.
Yeah.
Okay, I have no idea who's gonna win this time. I hope that there's gonna be some sort of twist where they actually bring out an actual Sister Abigail rather than Bray Wyatt in drag. Probably Bray Wyatt in drag is a ruse to the whole setup where they actually bring a Sister Abigail.
Well,
because I'm already okay. Now we're crossing fantasy booking territory. Number one, I would say Sage Beckett, considering that she's posting that kind of message. She posted a picture of a woman in flames with a message. I cannot remember what the message is. They are all lies, darling, I think was the message. Can't really remember. My offshoot chance? Paige.
I hope it isn't Paige, mainly because I don't want anyone else getting dragged into this Wyatt bullshit.
I know.
Paige is in a goddamn doghouse for all the shit that's going on in the last year and a half.
I know.
We all know this.
Yeah.
I know. Because realistically speaking, considering that fact,
it's time for her to go through the Triple H treatment. Eat plates and plates of shit.
Oh, God.
And you know where that comes from, right?
Yes.
Sal, do you know?
Unfortunately, I did.
I'm trying to remember.
It has to do with the curtain call.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember now.
He was sent to the bottom and had to eat plates and plates and plates of shit.
Yep.
And he had to climb back up again the hardest way possible, I think.
Yep.
Look at him now.
Yeah.
But, I mean, okay, let's face it. Like I said, fantasy booking-wise, I hope there was Sage Beckett. Long shot, very, very long shot would be Paige because she looks great as a Sister Abigail character.
She does.
Yeah, she would. Although I wonder if it would work because people knew her as Paige. I mean, they could always go like the whole demonic possession route, but even then, that's kind of like, I don't like the demonic possession route. It's not very good.
And number two, you have to suspend your disbelief for the umpteenth time.
Yes. You're asking us to suspend our disbelief with Bray Wyatt again. It's Bray Wyatt. No, I refuse. I refuse.
Please, Bray Wyatt. Yeah. Even if you wear makeup and wear a dress that's ragged and all that, and even if you put on your ashes of Sister Abigail, you're still Bray Wyatt.
You're still Bray Wyatt. Yeah, you're not Sister Abigail. I'm sorry.
Here's my take. I look forward to seeing what the setup is going to be about. The match itself, there's going to be your standard Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt that we have already seen.
Yeah, he wins by.
I mean, come on.
Raw at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Here's the thing. Okay, I mean, here's the thing. Quick wrap up on this one. Here's the thing. We've already seen these two bunch it up 4 times already. The only thing that we're attracted to is the underlying stories about how we have to suspend our disbelief yet again on this one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So there's that. The only thing of note is that when they were man versus man, that's it.
Yeah. And the only thing, man versus man, a regular wrestling match. Rejoice at the specialness.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had that, and now we're
Anyway,
That was a match that I went to the store and got chips and dip.
yeah. No, this is the match you just go and eat food and just ignore it.
Listen to the noise in the background and go, "Oh, it's over. What's next?"
Yeah.
okay. What's next would be let's cross to the championship defending. Alexa Bliss versus Mickey James. The context of it is veteran versus 5 Feet of Fury. That's it.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say to that.
Yeah. Honestly, out of all the matches on this card, this has had the most build since, you've had Alexa giving Mickey crap because, she's apparently quote unquote old, which that's kind of insulting, but
Yeah, especially for someone who's a senior member here.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah. Not to mention she's like younger than AJ and
Oh yeah, that's actually correct. AJ is 40 something. I think he's 40. Flat
40 or 41. Yeah.
Okay. Mickey James is 37.
Yeah, 36, 37. Yeah. I mean, taking the whole, kind of sexism out of it, because apparently at 37, a woman is old now. Fine, I guess. Not really, but it's at least had a build, like they've at least had them going back and forth and stuff. I mean, the build's been stupid, but you're giving me more than all these other matches are.
But that doesn't necessarily mean I have to be invested in Alexa Bliss versus Mickey James.
I hate to run everybody's parade, but Mickey James is 38.
Oh,
okay.
I pulled the Lady J and Googled it.
Okay. I hope that doesn't take precedence over Shane McMahon and then suddenly her going, who is Shane McMahon? Who is this guy who walked out dancing?
Sal, I don't know if you ever heard us when we had
I think I did hear that one.
Jay, and she's like, she had no idea who Shane was, and she's like, I have to Google this guy. And we both cracked the hell up.
Yes, she is the queen. She's the Google queen.
Yes, she is.
Yes.
She's the Google queen.
Yes, I remember this. Okay.
Yes. I'm not gonna rap on anyone who uses that. It's a legitimate way of searching for people. But anyway.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not giving a rap for that.
Yeah, it's a legitimate way of searching for information. And though it's quick and fast and all that. But anyway. Yes, I agree with you, Sal, on this one. This is the match where they have the most build. This is a match they have the consistent kind of build, even though the story of it is not good. Okay. Yes, I'll go flat out and say it's not good because age versus 5 Feet of Fury? Age versus beauty? Beauty versus age?
Yeah.
I have little context on this one. I don't know whether I'd say I hope to see Mickey James win it because I think on one side where I'd like to see her hold the proverbial gold watch as a reward for her being part of the WWE division at one point in her time, and this is the reward back again, just to win the Raw Women's Championship.
They've done it with Natty, and it's worked.
Yeah.
Really not a fan of Natty as champ, but
I know you're not, and I'm going to rub it in your face because Natty is a more sound wrestler than anybody else on the goddamn SmackDown roster.
Yeah.
And we all know this to be true because she was taught in the dungeon, and Uncle Brett was the same way, and yet he was over like Rover when he was on the roster. Why can't Natty get the same goddamn respect? That's my biggest issue.
I think it's because a lot of people, she doesn't really seem as technically sound as a lot of the other women. That's the issue.
She's more technically sound than anybody on the women's roster.
I don't see it. I honestly think she's like fourth talented at best behind Charlotte, Becky, and Naomi.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Technically sound than Becky. I tend to agree on either Naomi or Charlotte but nowadays, even Naomi looks crisp.
I know, yeah.
But Becky,
I mean, it might be that her style is more map based, and
yes,
might
That's
take her
exactly.
down.
I think that's the argument. That's the biggest argument that people pull out with Natty, because
That's my biggest point is that, and here I am going back to my old school days.
Yeah.
You know, we all know I'm old school.
Yep.
Mat-based wrestling has been lost with today's instant gratification society. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It has. I mean, you got guys like Zack Sabre Jr. doing it, who I absolutely adore watching, but you know,
Zack Sabre Jr. can make a wrist lock look exciting, for Christ's sake.
Yes, he can. I feel like Natty has talent at the mat stuff. It's just she doesn't really, at least for me, she doesn't bring it to that elevation of, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. It's more like, oh yeah, she's pretty good at this, but this is still kind of boring.
Yeah, number one.
I guess
and
it's
number
more
two,
her style in general. But
yeah, and that would be the case. And number two, Sal, you did bring this up back on your end of the show, where I think it was when you said once you said that, and WWE has missed the boat on Natty.
Yeah.
Way back when she debuted. They failed to put precedence on Natalia Neidhart, daughter of Jim Neidhart, one of the graduates of the Heart Dungeon. WWE missed the boat on that one, and this is the time where they right now. This is the time where they gave her the gold watch, but then again, nowadays we see it as it's too late for her.
yeah,
Now we have this kind of set of argument where she is a great technician on the mat. It's just that the pacing that she has, the style of wrestling that she has makes her match look boring.
yeah.
But anyway, but I mean, I digress. I mean, here's the biggest question: who's gonna win on this one? I hope. Personally, I'd say Mickie James. Storyline wise, I'd say Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
And 2 points on that one, because
I'm leaning Alexa myself.
Because here's the thing, I want to see a setup for her going into Survivor Series with something better than just this. There's got to be something better than just Alexa Bliss being champion and then just beating Mickie James up. There's no set precedence, and like I said,
I mean, shit, they did the same thing with her in Bailey. Made Bailey look like a fucking useless face.
Yeah.
Weak and useless.
That's true.
So
I mean, here's the.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm one of those that's like,
Yeah.
When it comes to this match,
like,
I'm like,
Okay. And then we'll go on the other end of the championship spectrum. 205 Live back again. Kalisto as champion versus Enzo Amore, the challenger. Singles matchup for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship title. This is the rubber match back again, where Enzo Amore is challenging Kalisto for the title. I know that there's stories between what's going on backstage about stuff and nonsense about Neville initially going to play in this match until he suddenly took his ball off and walked off into the sunset. Yeah. But okay, I'm not going to focus on that one. I'm just going to focus on the narrative that is Kalisto versus Enzo Amore. I don't know whether I should be invested on this match because of the underlying tones that has happened with the Cruiserweight division. Because I think this matchup will be fine. It's just that I am worried that the bigger focus would be that the shadow of Neville will linger over this match.
Oh, it will. I expect there to be "We Want Neville" chants throughout the whole thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that would be the case on this one, because leading with the whole rumors and whole stories about Neville and his abrupt disappearance from Raw altogether and 205 Live altogether, and hearing all the news about it, I'm afraid that sets a precedence for this matchup.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that
Nia being put on leave of absence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a whole thing. I mean,
There is some politics going on in the backstage right now that,
Yeah.
you know,
I know.
I mean, Neville, or
It's
excuse me, Enzo
Mhm.
is known to have heat with everybody in the locker room
Mhm.
on Raw and now on, it looks like on 205 Live, because he can't keep his big mouth shut.
Yep. Yeah, no, he's an idiot, and I'm glad Kalisto won the championship.
Oh, so was I. I was like,
Yeah.
teach this little bastard a lesson.
Yeah. My only issue with Kalisto as champion is his promos, because you'll see I'll win the championship I'll be the new cruiserweight champion at TLC, and he's already cruiserweight champion. It's like, I appreciate the fire behind it, but it's like,
well, he won on Eddie's birthday.
I know. Well, I was going to get to that. I don't think
go ahead.
I think he's losing the
That
belt.
should make it important.
Yeah. Well, no, I think I think that's why he won it, because he's a luchador and it was Eddie's birthday. So he's going to win a title that, well, it's not the same title, but Eddie had been a former cruiserweight champion himself.
True.
I think it was one of those things that WWE did as a sort of like, see, look, we like Eddie. Everyone loves Eddie. And then they're going to give it right back to Enzo. Kind of like that one.
I'm not against Enzo. Kind of like that.
Kind of like that one week Tozawa run that I'm still bitter about.
Oh, I'm also bitter about that one too. I mean, I like to take a leaf out of Taker's book. That little bastard warmed up to me when he won the cruiserweight title.
I know. I'm marked out for that.
Yeah,
folks, I don't know what's going on here, but I think I've been left alone. What the hell happened?
You owe everyone a drink again.
Are you here, Sal?
I'm around,
Yes,
I think.
What the hell happened?
I don't know. I heard Harry Potter music for a quick second, though.
Yeah, that was my wife texting me.
Oh.
I think.
Sorry.
I think.
No, you're fine.
I think I think what happened to Fizz is what's going on with him.
Yeah.
Actually, he dropped out a little bit and then came back again. But okay.
Yeah, both of you dropped out at the same damn time.
I don't know. We were just talking about Kalisto and Enzo Amore and how Tozawa warmed up to us when he won the cruiserweight title, and then we felt a little bit bitter when he lost the cruiserweight title. That's the part. But here's the thing: I'm not against Enzo Amore being introduced to the cruiserweight division because, on a general note, any press is good press in my opinion, and he moved the needle. Because if this serves as to put eyeballs to the cruiserweight division and 205 Live in general, he's doing good. The effect of it all is Neville, of course. Stories like Neville abruptly exiting and apparently not pleased with the direction that WWE is going with Enzo Amore. That's another story altogether, because as far as I know, and as far as I personally know from the facts that I read, from the rumors that I have, I don't know the true reason why he's gone. Is he gone? Is he not gone? Is he just disappeared off the face of the earth? That's it.
Yeah.
So there is that. But anyway, let's move on. Considering that this is the final matchup, and I am supposed to be excited about it, but okay, never mind. It's the Shield versus Braun Strowman, The Miz, Kane, Cesaro, and Sheamus. 5-on-3 handicap tables, ladders, and chairs match. On a TLC pay-per-view where supposedly you have to have TLC stipulation, this is the only match where they actually inserted that stipulation. This is the only match that allowed the usages of tables, ladders, and chairs match. This is it.
Yeah.
Not any other matchup has this kind of stipulation.
Yeah.
So
I'm honestly surprised none of the other matches don't even have one of the three. Like there's not even another ladder match or maybe a tables match or something. They're all just singles match or a tag match.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean,
but yet we have our favorite person in that big match.
This man with his soundboard. Oh, help me, God. Oh, help me, God.
Deal with it.
I am quickly regretting the fact that I actually suggested this. You can do it. You can do it. Now I'm quickly regretting it. I mean, okay. Okay, what do you think about the Shield so far, Sal?
I like the Shield reunion. That's been pretty cool. As far as the match goes, I was really looking forward to it. And then Kane got it.
Oof. Yeah. I mean, question. Big question. Why is Kane in this matchup? Why?
Someone to eat the pin is my best guess.
Why? To protect Braun Strowman? Braun Strowman, I think even if you throw a rock at him, he'll still survive that.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I don't know. It doesn't really make sense. Like, we haven't seen Kane in what, months? I mean, he's been running for mayor.
Yes, he did. Yes, he's been running for mayor.
Well, the rumor is that Roman's supposed to retire him eventually.
Oh my God.
You know?
Okay, here's the narrative. Here's the quickest narrative that I'm going to pull out. Roman Reigns has already retired The Undertaker. So next he's going to retire Kane.
Don't remind me.
Apparently, yes.
I'm sorry, it's a sore spot.
Yeah, if that is their plan, they did it ass backwards. I mean, you'd retire Kane first, then Taker.
Yeah.
Taker was not himself at WrestleMania 33?
Yeah.
33. Yeah, when he was last faced with Brock Lesnar, I think. Remember? Hey, wait, no, not Brock.
That was
Brock Lesnar.
Mm-hmm. That was the Roman match.
Yeah.
And he was not even a third of the man he normally was because he needed some goddamn hip surgery, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
I mean, probably because they wanted to rush for time and they just wanted to, okay, let's do this now. And before Undertaker actually cannot physically unable to compete in the ring. Let's just do it now. But yes, I agree. They did this ass backwards. They should have done Kane to be retired first, then The Undertaker. But I think it's just timing. It's the issue of timing of that one. I just don't understand why Kane is being inserted here. If hopefully the narrative is that because Roman Reigns is the one picked to retire Kane, but that's going to leave a little bit of a bitter taste in anyone's mouth. Anyone's mouth, I think. Anyone who's a fan of The Undertaker and Kane.
Yeah. It'll be what it'll be. I mean, this match itself, I mean, I don't know. It kind of felt like they just kept adding to make it a bigger deal, but at the end of the day, it kind of feels like less of a deal.
It is. And you know who's the sacrificial lamb to insert Kane in this one?
Miz?
Curtis Axel's gone now.
Oh yeah, Curtis Axel. I know. We lost
Curtis
the Miz
Axel
Taraj.
is missing out. Yeah, we lost the Miz Taraj. Of course, I think the narrative where they switched the Miz Taraj with Cesaro and Sheamus with the bar is okay, I think.
What was that for?
Because I can.
Oh, okay.
Well, at least I didn't play this.
Off.
Oh. Ladies and gentlemen,
or
members of the hall.
Or this, as a matter of fact.
Oh my God.
I like that one better. I would prefer if we could play the Miz's really quick, but I know that won't happen.
What, the Miz? Oh, I'll see if I can find it.
Woo!
Let's see.
While he's going through the soundboard, his makeshift soundboard.
Wait. Wow. Just for you, Sal.
Thank you, sir. Beautiful.
Let me just go grab my tear bucket now.
Poor MDS.
Or we could have played this one too. Let's see if I can find it. Hold on.
While he's trying to find it. Okay.
Well, you know, we gotta play this one for myself.
This is fast becoming the show where Taker's Minion actually finds a soundboard and goes crazy with the soundboard.
Is that a song you want played on DS?
Well, we got to find one for MDS now, damn it.
Oh no.
I got one for him. This will work. This will work.
Oh.
If you guys actually listened correctly, that's the sound of me banging my head on my desk quite literally.
Oh, come on.
You are the shooting debris Bailey. No longer Kenny Omega.
Oh dear God. I'm slowly losing the script.
Wait, we've had a script to start with?
I think I threw the script in his puke bucket before he puked it in it when he has to say the Miz.
Well,
Something
shit, I
like
could have played this one for him too.
This one's okay.
That's the intention.
I know. And then again, that's fine, considering the fact that the Ascension showed up in SmackDown. But anyway.
Oh no, this one fits you best. This one fits you best.
Oh no.
You know who that is, right?
I know.
Who is
The
it?
Undisputed Era.
No.
It's the Undisputed. Oh wait.
It's James Ellsworth.
James
Oh,
Ellsworth
no.
has an entrance music.
I did not know that.
I know.
I cannot remember James Ellsworth's entrance music. That's surprising. Okay.
Well,
Considering
you
the fact
don't
that now
rate
he's
this.
upset.
You don't rate this one though.
Oh, I really like this one. Ladies and gentlemen,
You suck.
wait, is this 30 seconds?
I hope that wasn't 30 seconds.
No, I cut it
I
off
hope
before
that
then.
Okay, good.
It's 29.59 or 29.59999.
Yeah.
This is definitely fast becoming Taker's Minion finding a soundboard and goes crazy with it. Plus that he took a drink earlier on and just went crazy. Now I've lost the
Oh
script.
God, here's one. Here's one that fits you best, MDS.
Oh God, he's gonna torture me more. Really?
Alberto!
Carrillo! It's your turn to be punished, MDS. Damn it.
Really?
Yep.
This week of all weeks. This week of all weeks.
Yep.
Oh goodness. I mean, on behalf of Sal, I'm sorry, Sal. This old guy has gone crazy.
Oh, you're fine.
I know Sal's having a good time. I don't give a shit about you.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Damn. That was brutal.
Now I'm hurt. That was brutal.
Well, the thing about it is MDS knows I love him too, so that's beside the point.
Can I get the script back in your pew bucket?
Sure, why not?
Okay. Shield. Good. Good. Cough up on your fun.
That's a backup along in the background.
Yes. Okay. The Shield, Braun Strowman versus The Miz, Kane, Cesaro, Sheamus. This is the only 5-on-3 handicap match on tables, ladders, and chairs match. Quick thoughts, and who's gonna win on this one?
I think the Shield wins.
just to set up nostalgia wins. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. I mean, well, this is their first match back together. I don't think they're losing this.
Mm-hmm. Number one and number two. Did you actually hear the rumor where they're actually considering Dean Ambrose flipping heel just to
I
break up this
did.
one? For this
I
one
don't-
star? Because
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
sorry. Here's the puke bucket, sir.
No, I
Go
sneezed.
play with the soundboard more. Go play with the soundboard more.
All right, you asked for it.
No. Okay.
I mean,
You asked for
okay. You're not done. Yeah, I'll still try and talk. Okay. Here's the narrative of it. What? Okay. Even if the Shield wins, what's next for them?
The King of Kings. There is only one.
I actually don't like that one.
Time to play the game.
I actually like that one, but okay. It's already 30 seconds. Cut it out. I am sorry.
What were we talking
is
about
slowly.
again?
I have no fucking idea now.
Well, I would never give you this. I would never give you this as your theme, though, MDS,
No.
because you don't rate this one.
What? This is actually my ringtone.
Who is this?
Nakamura.
Yeah,
This is
you
actually
don't
my
rate that.
ringtone.
You don't rate Nakamura. You're not good enough.
Oh, okay. I'm close to dying right now.
You have
soul's
lost total control of this show and tough shit.
Anyway, okay. Before I totally lose control of the show, who's gonna win? And well, okay. Sal said the Shield is gonna win. Taker said the Shield's gonna win. Okay,
Yep.
there's that. And we now come to the end of. Well, we're gonna come to the wrap up of the whole thing. Would you watch it? Okay. What would you think about the match overall? What's your outlook of this? Both of you. Anyone can start.
Go ahead, Sal.
The match or the show as a whole?
Huh?
The show as a whole?
No, the match.
Oh, the match. I'm pretty sure the match will be pretty good. It'll just be a big spot fest, I'd imagine. Like I'm sure we'll get the Shield and Roman and Cesaro, Sheamus, and Miz doing the bulk of the work. But
The question I have is this: who's going to be shield bombed? Michael Cole's words, not mine. Through the ring.
I actually personally like Code Black better, but okay. Kane.
Why do I think it's going to be Strowman?
Yeah, I was thinking either
Whoa.
Strowman or Miz.
Oh, okay.
And I mean literally through the ring.
Yeah, no, I know.
Strowman, Miz, or Kane? If you want to go through the ring, okay, I could see Braun Strowman. I'd personally see Kane. Considering the fact
But
that...
what the reason I say Braun is this. He destroyed the ring with Big Show.
Okay.
Why not have the Shield destroy the ring with Braun?
Because WWE isn't that clever.
Number one and number two. They're not really going to buy the fact that they're trying to rebuild Braun Strowman back again just to powerbomb him through the ring. And
Braun could afford it though. He's got so much credibility right now. It wouldn't hurt him to be quote unquote power bombed through the ring that is totally destroyed.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. I could see that. Fair enough. I can see that. Okay. So, okay. This has been TLC. So, okay. thoughts on the whole show so far? Going in.
Thrown
ahead,
together
Sal.
and boring.
It's gonna be dull. It's gonna be boring. It's gonna be slightly predictable.
This will be a show that I like. This is a show I'm not planning on watching on Sunday live because I have work Monday morning. This is a show I'm planning on watching whenever I have time to get to it.
Same, I think, because number one, even though I don't have work on that day, it's just that I think this is something that I can skip.
Yeah.
Me too.
I mean,
And I work third shift right now, and I'm on 7 days a week, so my sleep is important.
Yes. Yeah. You have better things to do than watch this.
Yeah, sleep. God damn it.
I think
Sleep
I
and
think
drink.
Yep.
By the way, I have a question for you, Sal.
Yep.
Okay.
The weekend of Hell in a Cell, did you get the Crown Royal Black and drink it with ginger ale?
No, I didn't. I meant to, but a lot of things happened and I didn't go out. So
Oh, shit. You don't know what you're missing, buddy.
I know I'll have to try that because that does sound very good.
It is. But the thing about it is Black Crown Royal Black is 90 proof.
Oof.
It'll get you drunk quick.
Yeah.
goodness.
I'm talking from experience.
We know you are talking to experience. Anyway. Okay. Considering that has been a wrap up on TLC. Hopefully, if you're actually looking forward to going through and watching it live, we're not really going to, how to say, put on rose-tinted glasses and say that, oh, this is going to be a good one.
No.
It has the potential to be a good one. It's just that to us, I think we can, all three of us can agree that this is actually a match that is mishmashed quite quickly with no precedence whatsoever. Only only one match has good build-up, and that's saying something with Alexa Bliss and Mickey James's match up. If I wanted to go in on a prediction, it's gonna, well, we already did our predictions. Okay. Going in, I think I'm setting my expectations as low as possible, even lower than going into Hell in a Cell. So if they don't clear that, I mean, that's gonna be shitty.
Yeah. Hell in a Cell at least had that awesome tag match. So
That's true. Anyway, okay. Considering, let's move on from soundboards. Let's move on from TLC, and well, let's quickly ask this. Let's quickly just put you guys on a good note. Before the show, I actually asked TakersMinion, my partner, what match with TLC elements, tables, ladders, and chairs element, that would you recommend watching before we go into TLC this week? So, Taker, got any picks?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go back into the late 70s, early 80s, and pull out a Bruce and Brody versus Abdullah the Butcher in just a straight up tables, ladders, and chairs, because the hatred between those two was off the charts. They had many a bloodbath in straight matches. And with the element of tables, ladders, and chairs being no disqualification, Abdullah could always bring his fork to the ring and make that an element as well. So it'd be tables, ladders, and chairs. Tables, ladders, chairs, and forks.
And forks. Okay, this is from the year, I think if I remember correctly, this is from the year 1988, I think.
That is correct.
You search.
I mean, those two had such heat between the two of them, whether it be manufactured or real, no one ever really knew. And this is before Bruiser Brody was shot and killed in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
But the matches those two put on were absolute bloodbaths, and that's the kind of matches I like.
Because, well.
And they were out, to see those two go at it back and forth would be an awesome thing to see Abdullah put through a table. Would be amazing.
Okay. I think we could actually go. I think we could actually find this on the WWE Network if you have WWE Network. If you don't, I think there's supposedly a record of it, of a video of it in either YouTube or somewhere else. I think you just have to search for it. What about you, Sal? Did you get any picks, or I know
Yes.
it's going to be last minute, but
Yes, I did. I do remember this match. It was CM Punk against Jeff Hardy at SummerSlam 2009 in a TLC match for the World Heavyweight Championship.
No. Sal, no. Wrong.
wait, what?
A match that you have seen that could have used this stipulation.
They used it? I thought it was a match that had TLC in it.
No, because I just brought up Bruiser Brody and Abdullah the Butcher, which TLC wasn't a possible stipulation back then.
Oh, okay.
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 I'll give you a few minutes.
I think that,
MDS, go ahead.
Okay. To me, I think it would be okay. Even though it hasn't really billed as the ladders match, as actual tables, ladders, and chairs match, I think I'm gonna pull WrestleMania 16, Hardy Boys versus Dudley Boys versus Edge and Christian. Even though it is a ladder match, it could have been billed as a tables, ladders, chairs match. For one.
Okay.
And number two, I could have gone with WrestleMania 17 with the same lineup. It's just that there is the startup for the whole tables, ladders, and chairs match again, because they actually build it as TLC 2 for that one. So, but I think both matches would be a fun match to watch, even if you wanted to see an actual tables, ladders, and chairs match. To me. Because, and yet again, this is for WrestleMania 16. That was the match of the highest spots for me, and that was actually my first match watching back again for wrestling. So there's that. There's that. Anyway.
Okay, Sal, sorry to put you on the spot like that, but go ahead.
Oh geez, I'm still thinking. I'll go with a. See, I'm trying to think of a really big rivalry with two people who really hated each other.
Okay.
I think one of the Edge Undertaker matches might have been pretty good with the TLC back when they were feuding over the World Heavyweight Championship in 08, I want to say. Late 07, early 08. I think one of those might have been better with the TLC, but even then, I'm a little skeptical, mainly because of Taker's age at the time. Like, he could still go, but it's always one of those things in the back of my head. Like, do I really want him going on ladders?
Although he did go up on a ladder and put Edge through two tables in a Hell in a Cell match.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I'll go with one of their matches.
Okay.
Ooh, that would have been interesting.
Yeah, because Edge is pretty much the master of the TLC match. He's been in so many of them.
True.
People are actually saying that he's one of the progenitors of TLC as a whole.
Yep, he was in the first one at SummerSlam 2000.
Yes. And then okay, just a quick segue on a TLC note. I mean, if you guys are going to go watch, if the listeners are going to go watch TLC this Sunday, before that, I could recommend you guys watching WrestleMania 16's triple threat match with the WWF Championship Tag Team Championship on the line with Edge and Christian, Dudley Boys, and Hardy Boys for a ladder match. Even though it's for a ladder match, they introduce the element of tables and chairs, because these three tag teams were famous for their usage of tables on Dudley's, ladders on Hardy Boys and Chairs with Edge and Christian. So they actually meshed together and actually created the whole thing.
Yeah, they created the whole pay-per-view of tables, ladders, and chairs because I mean, those 16 and 17 WrestleManias with those three teams was absolutely amazing. The amount of abuse they put themselves through was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was.
Yes, I agree. It was. I mean, okay. Anyway, considering that, with that, we've come quickly to the end of our show. So
Wow.
that was our take on TLC 2017. Catch it on October 22nd on WWE Network Live, or you can just catch it on a later date, or just watch whenever you have the time if you are subscribed to the WWE Network. Shout out to Jake the Milkman, Milliman's Milkman. You are one lucky son of a bitch because you get to watch TLC live. Everyone loves to go on a live show, regardless of what the pay-per-view is.
I mean, hell,
even on a house show for that matter.
Yep, I've been to house shows, and
you enjoyed the fuck out of it.
Yes, I did because two things happened to me, and I reiterated them last night. Where a Denver got punched in the mouth by one of the Usos for not shutting up. And then I told Dean Ambrose at one point when he was knocked out of the ring, you need to slap the taste out of Mrs. Mouth. And he finally was able to get him in the corner nearest to me. And he said, he turned to me and looked and goes, "This is for you." And then proceeded to slap Miz across the mouth.
Oh, jeez.
And I was like, "Oh, hell yes."
Oh, jeez.
I mean, okay.
My dislike and despisement of Miz will never change, Sal. You might as well accept the fact. Even though I said what I had to say earlier on in the show, I wish I will not repeat.
Are we seeing
that's okay. We have a soundbite of you saying it. That'll live on forever.
Yes, I know. And I'm sure you'll figure out a way to replay it on your own podcast, which is what?
Fizzy's Wacky World of Wrestling, which will be starting at 1:30 today.
Yeah, that's what I was told.
Where can we catch you, Mr. Sal?
Where can we find you, Sal?
You can find me on Twitter at Kuzmano_Sal, or you can find my co-host Fizzy at 14 Fitzpatrick.
Okay.
These two cover a lot of the week of WWE as well as sumo wrestling and a little bit of everything else under the sun.
Although you and I, and I'm going to throw this out at Sal.
All right.
Okay.
We all know Hiromu Takahashi has Daryl, and I should say now Carol, over bigger than hell in NJPW, correct?
Yep.
What wrestler here in the WWE could use a character similar to Daryl?
That's a good question.
Who could get Daryl over?
I don't think they could, mainly because I don't think it would work in WWE.
Why not?
Mainly because of the way they write stuff like that. I mean, the closest thing we've ever had was Moppy with Perry Saturn, and that did not work at all.
Well, don't forget Head with Al Snow.
Yeah.
Al Snow got Head over bigger than hell.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's change the narrative for a bit. Let's go one path of fantasy booking, and the other would be if WWE is booked kind of like NJPW. Okay.
If WWE was booked like at New Japan, I'd say the person to get Head over would probably be.
You mean Daryl?
Or Daryl, excuse me.
Daryl.
Jesus, what's wrong with me?
You're tired.
Quickly.
I'm looking.
Too much laughing.
I know. It would have to be someone who's a bit goofy.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think the New Day might be able to. I mean, hell, they kind of did with Francesca, the trombone.
Okay.
True.
Yeah.
You know who else I might think could do it? And this is This is stretching out on a limb, but how about Dolph?
He might.
Ah,
I'd say he needed it.
he might needed it. Yeah.
God damn it!
Perfect timing. Perfect timing.
Harry Potter! That means it's the old lady calling me again. Damn it.
Okay. While TakersMinion goes off on that, okay, I'm gonna answer that question, and you're gonna be surprised on this one, Sal.
Okay.
If I go NJPW route and fantasy booking route as a whole, I'd actually pick Finn Balor for this.
I was thinking Finn myself. I just wonder if he could do it.
I mean, think about it. Okay, Finn Balor knows the nuances. Okay, considering the fact, Finn Balor knows the nuances of how NJPW booking as a whole. Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, he's already carried the suspend your disbelief character with the Demon King and Persona whole thing. If he can do that, that means he can carry the whole suspend your disbelief on a toy cat that is more over than the wrestler itself.
Yeah.
So he could, in one facet of it, it could work. So. Because some of the people are already saying that, okay, probably Chris Jericho would be able to do it, or someone who is very charismatic that can carry that over. But we digress on that fact.
Yeah. It could
Yeah,
work.
it's
You can also see Fashion
It could-
Files getting it over.
Ooh, that's actually an interesting one. Very interesting one, because considering that they're already eccentric in a sense.
Yeah. You know, and
anyways, since since we were already gonna leave Taker out to answer his phone.
What?
Which is
Huh? Oh, he's back.
okay. I thought he's off to play with his soundboard back again. This has been
No, I'm not going to play with the soundboard anymore. Until next
Really?
week.
Dear God, please do not bring him another soundboard.
Like I said, I have 108,000 to look through.
I think Sal has been broken even before he heads off.
Just hope I don't get invited to your show, Sal. So I might bring my soundboard with me.
Oh no! Not the soundboard. Oh jeez. Oh jeez.
I love you, Sal.
I know we joke, but you guys know you're both welcome on the show at any time.
Anytime. I think we definitely have to do something about this. We definitely have to do something about this at a later date.
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
I
think it would be.
Oh.
I think it would be a crazy ass show. Even Fizz won't control it.
It would.
But
No,
the thing about it is, can the internet handle 4 hours of insanity?
sure
2
they
hours.
can.
2 hours of us and 2 hours of Fizz's Wacky World. Oh my God.
Yeah, they can handle it. They handle it every Friday. At least I hope they do.
They do. What was it you were gonna say again, Sal?
Oh, I just wanted to thank you guys again for having me on. It was a very nice pleasure.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming at the very last minute. I think Taker invited you at the very, very last minute. So
I asked if he wanted the Iron Man, and he's like, "Sure, why not?"
yeah, okay. Thank you very much for coming into the show.
I'm willing to Iron Man if needed, so I can repeat what I have to do.
I could too, because we basically have to have a mashup on this one. Anyway, considering that we have to wrap this up as quickly as possible, TakersMinion, where can we catch you?
You can find me on Twitter at takers_minion. Also find me in the nightly. I should say Nate. Why did I say Nately? It's a combination of nightly and daily, I guess.
This is what happens when you play with this.
I'm on the nightly more often than not. Right now, I'm currently on 7 days with no days off, so I'll be on the nightly more. And you can always find me here on Shootin' the Breeze with my bestest buddy in the world, MDS.
Now he's making my heart up.
We are still working on scheduling with Conrad Thompson. That's going to be a pre-recorded interview. So please send your questions to Shootin' Debreez 1. That's spelled Breez, the number 1. And we will be more than willing to ask them for you.
Or you can just send the question back at our personal Twitter.
Or to our personal Twitters at, like mine is, at Takers_Minion. Where can they find you? Where can they find you there, MDS?
You can find me on Twitter most of the time at BeckyGotBank666. You can also catch me on the CSS site on the daily as well as the nightly. Like I said, send your questions on our personal Twitter. Chat, talk, discourse. That's what I love to do. I love just to discuss and chat and do crazy stuff. Like several minutes earlier, where now I am losing my breath in any sense due to too much laughter and too much craziness. This has been Shootin' Debreez, episode 17. See, now you are already losing my point.
Oh, it's too bad you got all lost. Also,
Anyway.
don't forget.
Okay.
Also,
Okay.
Don't forget that Fizzy's Wacky World follows us next at 1:30 Eastern. And then tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, we have Two Guys, One Sport with Crazy Chris
and then we also
Curtain Jerker. Plus, we also have Keeping Up with the Kayfabe, Not Your Demographic, and several other podcasts that are CSS affiliated as well as not.
This has been episode 17, Off to War with Tables, Ladders, and Asuka. Hopefully we don't need to have exertions too much over it. We had fun. Hope you guys listening also had fun at my expense this week, I think.
Yes, it was. It was your turn to be picked on. Would you not agree, Sal?
I would.
Oh, God.
I guess.
Thank you, Sal. Thank you, Sal. Thank you again, Sal, for coming in on such short notice. We had tons of fun. I agree. Whenever you and I mash up together, this happens.
Yes, it happens, and I always feel a little guilty afterwards about getting you so off tangent.
Insanity always ensues when Sal's here.
I know.
Saturday always ensues. Correct. Anyways, this has been episode 17, Shootin' Debreez. Catch us next week for another Shootin' Debreez. For TakersMinion, I'm MDS. Bidding you goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Adios.